Ah, yes, you're here. Well,
Yeah.
getting out of bed really early in the morning could be quite tasking, especially when you had plenty to do the previous night from before. You know, causing you to sleep late and maybe wake up a bit too early because you have to be here, have to get dressed and everything. All the travails we go through as presenters.
However, in spite of this, we've taken it upon ourselves to do what we know how to do best.
Absolutely.
Giving you just what we promised. 1 hour, 45 minutes of premium content.
Yes, so what makes this moment extra exciting is the fact that it's a Friday. I thought we were going to chime in.
I was going to, but
left me
I
all
wanted
alone.
them to hear you.
You're no longer my wingman.
Falsetto.
Horrible
That was what
falsetto.
that was. Now, there's enough time to rest before Monday, so we're ready to exert all our energy for today because it's game day.
Thank you very much, Sissy. Yes, indeed, it is game day, and on today's edition, we will be playing something called Music Scrabble, if I remember correctly. You guys are going to find it very, very interesting. That's letting the cat out of the bag already
Yeah.
from the beginning of the show. But we don't want you to miss out. That's why we want to keep you here. Stay glued to your TV sets because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a whole new experience, an amazing box of excitement. We can't wait to share with you what we have today, so let's get started. My name is Titilaya Olunsong.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. As always, you can stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook. Oh my goodness, we forgot one person.
No, we didn't. You did. I did not.
I was just rambling on.
No.
Winfried, I'm so sorry.
Mazino, there's something you need to get. You cannot forget me in this life or the next.
You're not forgettable at all.
Good morning, everyone. My name is
morning.
Winfried Agbedeshe, and we're here. It's game day, as Titi rightly said. Titi, you look very pretty this
Oh,
morning.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Mazino, I
finding my
like your
inner
shoes.
child today.
Go on your coffee, don't kill yourself. I like your shoes. So yeah, say thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Where was I? Facebook at TVC Connect. I'm done.
Now, social media platforms are how you can interact with us, but make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And you can also watch us live from anywhere you might be. All you need is the app on your phone. You can download that on iOS or Google Play Store. It is that easy. Don't forget to send in the comments. We always love to read all of these comments.
Funny story, guys. I met him 2 days ago.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I just happened to be driving into a particular place, and he was riding out with the social media team.
That's
and I became a fan. Also, I wound down. I was like, "Oh, well done!" I was like, "Oh, calm down, Titi, calm down."
Titi,
I rode across the world. I
Titi,
don't know.
I ride in here every morning. You don't.
Imagine,
Did
no.
you ride from anywhere to anywhere?
No.
I don't understand.
I actually
You're not the
was
same bike that he has that you have. What are you? Oh, wow.
Okay.
I was like, I was gushing.
Oh, that's
Mazino was
malaria.
busy
You're not
around. Mazino was busy riding around the world. We won't have him here now.
Thank you. Winfrey.
Wow.
You're a wingman.
Wow.
I
You're a
got you.
wingman. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
In any case, I'm very excited to have him here. It's a
Yeah.
it's a great fit that he's done. He's accomplished,
Yes.
and he's got all the lenses on him right
Yeah.
now. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to talk with him.
Yeah.
And the other day we were talking with Mike, and Mike really didn't understand how this was bringing attention. But you can see, I mean, he
Yeah.
is so busy you can't get him on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we get to have him here on the show. We're excited, and we are sure that you're going to be excited too when we have him on the couch here.
Yes, so
Yeah.
can't wait to see what the wind is going to be like today. You know,
Yeah.
wind.
In your
Get it?
hair.
Yeah, you
Bike
get it.
riding
Bike,
wind.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Weather.
Well, thanks for joining us here on the news. This is Wake Up Nigeria. I am Kelly Egiga. We're beginning with President Muhammadu Buhari's call for global cooperation to avert a looming food crisis in the face of the lingering war in Ukraine. President Buhari, who is on a state visit to Spain, stated this at the Royal Palace in Madrid during a meeting with King Felipe VI in continuation of his visit to that country. In a statement by the presidential spokesperson, Femi Adesina, the two leaders called for a global action to stem the food problem caused by the ongoing war in Ukraine. They are urging world leaders to take concrete actions to avert the crisis across the world. President Buhari also met with President Pedro Sanchez, where both leaders signed a memorandum of understanding on 9 areas of cooperation. President Buhari reaffirmed that Nigeria looks forward to increasing bilateral relations between both nations. Agreements were reached with MOUs signed on 9 areas, including treaty on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters, transfer of sentenced persons, extradition, economic and on commercial cooperation, tourism. Others are sports, health, the fight against COVID-19, and science and innovation. Well, let's shift our focus now to politics. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has now met with delegates in Ogun State. The former Lagos State governor was received by the state governor of that state, Dapo Abiodun, and other notable chieftains of the party. Now, while speaking on reasons why the delegates should support his ambition, Asiwaju Tinubu, who addressed the delegates in Yoruba language, noted that he has supported so many people, including President Muhammadu Buhari, to achieve their political ambition. He asked that they nominated the vice president and supported the incumbent Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, noting that it is time for people to support his dream of becoming the president of Nigeria.
Yorùbá ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ ṣa Yorùbá náà, èmi ló kàn. Mi ò fẹ́ kàn pa mí mọ́tàn.
We will do the right thing. We shall do the right thing. You have justified and stated clearly why power must come to not just the South, but the Southwest. You made a case for why you believe that you have earned this position that you are seeking. Our leader, may God grant you the desires of your heart.
On the international scene in the U.S., police say 4 people have been killed in a shooting spree at a hospital in Oklahoma. And, officials confirmed that the suspected shooter was armed with a rifle and a handgun. Police arrived at the scene at St. Francis Hospital in 3 minutes. They say that prompt move ensured the death toll was not higher. Multiple injuries had also been confirmed in the attacks. Now, speaking at a press conference, Oklahoma's Deputy Police Chief Eric Daglish said, quote, "Right now we have 4 civilians that are dead and 1 shooter that is already also dead." End of quote. He said the shooter, who has not yet been identified, sustained fatal gunshot wounds which were believed to be self-inflicted. He added that the suspect had 1 long gun and 1 handgun. On the scene at the time, there is yet no information on the possible reason for the attacks.
I was leaving my office and security come and got me and said that there was an active shooter. And so we just took cover, me and 3 other ladies. I'm very shaken up. I mean, I've seen it on TV this last couple of weeks, and it's startling to just have to go through that. It's very, very scary. Very scary.
Oklahoma Highway Patrol Bomb Squad was on scene waiting for that. They have since went in and cleared that residence as far as their part. Tulsa Police Department has also arrived on scene, and so they have taken over this scene, and they will be...
We are back, people. It's time for us to go through the front pages of the newspaper. And of course, we are starting with the Punch. Making the headlines here, I brought Buhari out of political retirement, assisted him to emerge president, says Tinubu. And on the riders here we have, I went to Katsina to convince Buhari to contest after 3 defeats, says Asiwaju. And I nominated Oshibajo after Saraki. Others blocked me from taking VP slots, says Tinubu. And finally, Northern governors plan consensus. Akeredolu, Tinubu others insist on Southern presidency. And that's it on the Punch newspaper. Let's move over to The Nation. Making the headlines here, Akeredolu, why APC must rotate power to retain power. Tinubu visits Oyo, Ogun, gets delegates backing. It's time to reward me, says ex-governor. And on the top of the paper here, Lagos to crush over 2,000 motorcycles. And my tie with Hush Puppy by Abba Kyari. And you can find more of that story on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Let's see. Okay, let's take more stories on the Nation here. We have Invest at home. Buhari urges Nigerians abroad. And APC convention, Oyegun panel yet to submit screening reports. 19 committees swing into action. And finally, we have spent 43 billion naira on pensioners, says Oyetola. And Makinde may unveil running mate today. You can find more stories, of course, on the front pages of the newspaper, and that's all we can take at the moment. Let's find some facts, Shuri.
We are friends. We're actually going to tease Mazino a lot because he's the only guy on set.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why not?
Don't do that.
Tease him with some cheese.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll take your cheese anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyways,
show, Jerry.
So, MM, you know, was saying earlier today that...
I didn't say anything. The
Calm
story
down,
is online.
Calm down. Allow person to give you cheesy props now. And she brought to our attention this issue of Christabel losing her life after apparently a botched surgery.
That's the Port Harcourt influencer?
Yeah.
Yes, the Port Harcourt, she actually lost her... she came all the way from Port Harcourt to Lagos for a BBL. That's the Brazilian butt lift. And, well, there's been outrage so far. Police investigations are still ongoing. The clinic where she had the surgery has also released reports, a statement saying that there were complications. You know, there are a lot of medical terms that they used, and in most of it, she lost a lot of blood. Yeah, after the surgery. This happened 4 days after the surgery.
Wow.
She was supposed to have been discharged on 4th day, and unfortunately they couldn't because, you know, she was losing blood. They underwent blood transfusion.
So she died in the hospital?
So she died in the hospital. So what's shocking, you know, amidst all of this is her friends did not hear from her after a couple of days. They went back to the clinic, you know, and then they're giving them a letter.
Wait, the clinic did not inform anybody.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
Do you get? So maybe, I don't know if they had that information and they didn't do, you know,
Emergency
the
contact.
needful.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did. But this is what the family her friends actually has come out to say, that they went to the hospital to check on her, and then they're giving them a letter and telling them that her body is at the mortuary.
Oh, wow.
So,
Please do.
So I wanted to jump in and say that one of the first things at any clinic or medical facility is to get an emergency contact. People, and they're most likely family. One of the rules is they can't even tell the friends.
Yeah.
They can't give them any information until family has been informed. So hearing about this letter right now is, I don't know, it's a little shaky. That information is a bit shaky. Who exactly collected that letter and what was in it?
Well, her friend, because we didn't know about this until her friend came out, you know, to, you know, inform the public here.
Now, apparently, there's so much risk involved when it comes to cosmetic surgery, but yet we see that more and more people these days, especially of the female folk, are going into cosmetic surgery. Is it worth the risk, is what I'm asking now. And if women can do it, and I don't mean to bring the gender war here, is it also okay that men should be able to indulge? I don't know if calling it an indulgence is the right thing, but why do they do it? What risks are they willing to take? And you know, these are just the questions that...
Before I actually go to that, I actually want to talk on this particular situation. So I know something's come to my mind as regards why maybe the hospital don't reach out to family to communicate the states, right? But I'm thinking her coming to do such a surgery, maybe she did not enlist her family in her emergency contact.
Yeah.
But then again, except the hospital insisted it be family, and she's like, okay, you know what? But I think they'll probably even take a friend's name as opposed to nothing, right? And all of that. That's probably why the friends actually got there. I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, maybe that they were called. But then again, moving a dead body to a mortuary before family or friends gets there, I don't know about that. Because, I mean, it seems like there's a foul play there. Then talking about, is it worth the risk, right? From the mere situation of the case, the mere fact of the case shows that the hospital obviously they're not doing something right, right? Because to be honest, yes, as much as yes, this kind of surgeries are frowned upon in this society, right? To be honest, it's like any other, there are more difficult surgeries that happen day in, day out, where that actually go seamlessly. Do you understand? I don't think this is as serious as, for instance, a childbirth surgery.
So perhaps it's because of the lack of seriousness. That's why you have people who could be considered quacks that are
doing that.
This actually begs for a lot of questioning, to be honest, and there are so many ways to look at this. Now, we are in an era where our beauty, the definition of beauty is being questionable, is questioned. What is the standard of beauty in this time and age? And over the years, we have seen it evolve. We've seen it change. There's no... It's not constant anymore. There's no template for it. And that is why we have, I'm going to blame the Kardashians.
Well.
Now then starts this trouble all over the world. Yes. Titi.
No.
Yes, Titi.
No.
They call it you should read up on it. They actually call it the Kardashianized.
Okay.
They actually call it the Kardashianized.
But then
where you know, they have sold this idea of perfection or this image that, oh, yeah, you know, this is an ideal.
I want to respond.
This is how, sorry, darling,
directly.
let me finish.
Yeah.
This is how, you know, this is the idea of what beauty should look like. And, you know, people all over the world are following this trend. Now, to BBL, Brazilian butt lift actually, according to reports, has even said that it's as in... this is actually the highest death rate of all procedures.
Wow.
Yes.
Nigeria in the world?
All over the world. Wow. It's actually yes. So you have like 1 in 14,000 cases, but it is the highest compared to, you know, breast augmentation. So it is important that before you go into surgery, before you even make up your mind on it, as a woman out there you're watching right now, it's important that you do your research. You do your research, ask questions. You know,
Winfrey, you were going to say something.
I was going to respond directly to the issue on definition of beauty. I think, if nothing, the fact that you actually clearly stated that it has evolved over time tells you that there's no one definition to beauty. That is for me, right? And of course, you talk about, okay, the Kardashianized. Hello. The Kardashians, they decided to literally live their lives the way they felt was fit for them. They put it out on social media. Would you now blame them for people now wanting to literally augment their body to look like them? No. And this is the case. No, I'm not saying it's your, of course not. This is not, it's your opinion. Me too, I'm saying my opinion. What I'm also trying to say also is the fact that, okay, for instance, now, Agbani Darego won Miss World. At a point, Agbani Darego was a standard. Do you understand? Would you now say, okay, people literally started losing weight drastically to look like her. Do you understand? We're going to say, okay, we'll blame Agbani for those people. I feel in the end of everything, it depends on the mental... You decide to do this. This is your fault. You can't say, okay, because
don't call my name. I'm enjoying this.
All I'm saying is that you can't blame it on another person.
It has become the industry. It has become the new confidence booster.
I want an hour
to talk about this.
I want an hour to talk about this.
Do I have a problem with it? Is there anything wrong with enhancing your bodies? Is there anything wrong with cosmetic surgery? No.
No, there's not.
But please, if you have to, do your research, do due diligence before you go out there and, you know, try to, you know, craft your body in the way that you want to.
I just wanted to point out that every single kind of surgery has its stages, its risks, and everybody knows about this. So it's not just restricted or exclusive to the Brazilian butt lift. But all in all, there's so much that we could have spoken about, but we didn't have the chance to. Perhaps maybe we can do that on social media, where you can be involved as well. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. I've got plenty to talk about. They didn't let me, but maybe I'll do that on there.
It's a real pleasure. Welcome, guys, to the kitchen. I'm here with Chef Nsi Splash, as you can see, and thank God she brought plantain today. Even though I told her I was going to send her back home. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you.
Okay, so now tell me, what exactly are we making today?
We are making beef dodo.
Beef dodo. Okay, now tell me, what exactly do we need for this?
We're using beef, plantain. We have the veggies, bell peppers, and the spring onions.
Okay.
Then the seasoning.
Okay, then the seasoning.
Spices.
All right, so how exactly do we make this beef dodo?
Okay,
What's the process like?
We're going to cut this. into chops or cubes, kind of, and this one cubed too. Then we steam it, season it with the seasoning here.
Okay.
Then we fry it. We use the same oil to fry the plantain, so we get the flavor from the meat. Yes. Then we now make a sauce and incorporate everything
together.
Save it
So is it similar to? This is beef dodo.
Same thing as
geese dodo. Okay, just that we're using beef today. Why? Oh, that's what you could have said since now. So from what you're saying here, that means you can use any protein you want to use, right? People are just used to the geese dodo.
Yeah.
They just stick with that. Yeah. So maybe next time it will be chicken dodo. Or goat meat dodo. Abi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now, as long as there's dodo, that's all that matters. Oh, yeah, now, so let's start this process. What exactly, how exactly do we start?
Okay, we start from the beef because we need to steam this first.
Steam that quick, okay. All right. Is it not easier to cook that before cutting it? It's not going to be difficult to cut.
It's going to be difficult to cut it when it's
Oh,
hot.
that's nice. But I think your knife is very sharp. I think that's the number one kitchen tip.
Yeah.
Sharp knife.
Sharp knife.
Yes, even though you just struggle. Anyways, in case you're just joining us or you need a nice, good reminder, we're making beef dodo right here with Chef NC Splash. And of course, we have the ingredients right there on the screen. Starting with salt, of course. You know that anything you cook, at least almost anything, should have at least a pinch of salt. Of course, we have some nice red beef. We have some onions. We also have spring onions. We have bell peppers in different colors, green, orange, and red. We have black pepper. Chef NC Splash never cooks without black pepper. That's a tip for you right there. Vegetable oil, which I'm sure you can substitute with other healthy oils if you would rather. We have ripe plantains. Can we use unripe plantain if we want?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. And of course, we have tomato paste and we have beef seasoning, of course, okay? So here she is with her really sharp knife that I will never, it has never been easy cutting beef before. Never has it ever been. But then again, I'm sure the beef is also tender, right?
Yeah, it's tender.
Yes, it's tender beef, so that actually totally works. So she's going in with that. So while we'll leave her to put this all together, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, I think we'll do sports. It's going amazingly well, of course. I mean, trust now is Chef NC Splash, right? So we're still here. We're still making our beef plantain, which has to do with a combination of like beef with plantain, obviously, just as the name implies. So how far have we gone, Chef? And what are we doing now?
The beef is almost ready to fry.
Okay.
So when we are done frying the beef, we use the same oil to fry the plantain, so we get that flavor like I told you.
Okay, so is the beef first, then the plantain next?
Yeah.
Well, if you do it the other way around, you'll not have...
Still be fine, but you won't get the flavor
You won't
from
get
that meat. Yeah.
from the meat out of it. I mean, that's very interesting. Funny enough, growing up, my mom always said that when you want to fry stew, you use the oil to fry. You used to fry the meat or the chicken to make the stew. That way, you actually get the oil infused with that flavor. That's actually really nice. Okay, so now you're actually cutting the plantain.
Yeah.
What do we have on the fire there?
This beef is almost ready.
It's almost ready. I can see some onions in there.
Black
Right?
pepper.
Water, seasoning, black pepper. Trust you now. We don't need to say it's implied. Once you see her, you see black pepper. Nice. So earlier you were telling me of another option we have of using unripe plantain.
Yeah, you can use unripe plantain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just steam it, or you can cook it a little.
First.
For people who don't eat sweet things, just cook it a little before frying it.
Okay, as opposed to this, because this one we're not cooking it at all, we're just frying it straight, right? But that one, you cook it a little before you fry it. Amazing. Okay. Everything is coming together nicely. Then also, I wanted to talk about the peppers. You're going to chop them?
Yeah, I'm going to chop them.
So that's for garnishing.
Yeah.
So the tomato paste now, can you use fresh tomato blend?
Very well.
And why did you decide to use this one instead?
I like the paste because everything is here. This paste has onions and it has pepper inside.
Okay, it has onion and pepper inside. I mean, it's good because gone are the days we actually do just plain tomato paste, right? And we have all of that together. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, we're still here. We're still making beef plantain, and that is on the way. We have so much coming up, but then again, it's the top of the hour. So let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we start all over again.
Second hour of Wake Up Nigeria is upon us right now, people, and we're of course excited that we got to be part of your entire week, all the way up until now from Monday. An awesome journey. Awesome, not awesome.
awesome.
Where did that come from?
Awesome. Or awesome, as some people say. It's absolutely true. Today is nothing short of that. We're geared to turn your day around for the better.
Yes, indeed. Look, if you're just tuning in for today's episode, hey, I dare say that you've missed out on a lot because it was a very fantastic 1 hour gone by already. And you're lucky still because we still have 45 minutes of great personalities on the show, great guests, great content, and the food is top notch.
Yes, sir.
The person making it is fantastic. NC Splash doing her bit. And of course, Winfrey is just standing around.
Wow. No, she's not.
Doing pretty much nothing.
Mazino.
Looking pretty.
I'm shaking my head for you, Mazino. You will not, this food, you will not taste it.
It's a lie.
You will not taste of it. Anyways, great stuff happening here, though.
Yeah.
Great stuff happening here. We're almost
as usual. Today is game day, people, and we're going to be having Music Scrabble coming your way today. And hey, Mazino has put that game together for you.
Thank you very much. You guys watch out for it. It's going to be fun. Now, when you leave work today, please leave work. Don't allow technology follow you back home or take it back home with you. Leave everything back at work. Text messages, emails, and all. Make sure it is a weekend for you, yours, family, nothing else. Be refreshed by the time you're coming back for a Monday, okay? That's my advice for you as you step into the weekend. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Owinson. Remember, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv or on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yes, get on all of our social media platforms. Interact with us. You want to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And remember, you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere you might be. All you need to do is have the app on your phone. You can download that on Google Play or on iOS.
So, what else do we have left on the show?
Tell them.
Okay, now documenting that must have been really interesting.
I'm sure it was. All you need is a camera, actually, and the stamina to stop and take pictures or reset your camera all the time, which is not easy.
It's funny because I think of that same thought because I was literally looking at it. I'm like, how did he edit this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he didn't do it himself. Sure.
Maybe he would.
Because I think that's a frustration for me. It's great to capture, but to sit and edit.
Oh, goodness me.
We were talking about something from earlier. I had this very interesting thing I wanted to talk about this morning, but I can't remember what it is. And you said
you need to sleep more, Mazino.
Yes. Yeah. And I said, darling, I get all my hours of sleep. And then you said,
what?
In successive hours, 8 hours.
She believes that you have to sleep all 8 hours at once.
Yes, REM sleep.
I don't believe so. I sleep 3 hours
Google
and 5
is your
hours.
friend.
Medical report says that you have it has to be at a stretch.
When last did you sleep at a stretch 8 hours?
Last night.
Oh, wow.
Apart from last
That's
night.
why I came energized and passionate. Yeah, that energy comes from somewhere. Yes, because I noticed that the days that I do not have enough sleep, oh my God, my cognitive ability it depletes.
Yeah, that's why she's evil.
Wow.
evil Eben.
Yeah, but no, guys, do not underestimate sleep. Sleep is very important. It's very necessary.
But to be very honest, I can't remember when last I actually had 8 hours straight.
So I know it as
Are you sure you're not?
sleep. So you're for a lot of people, they don't realize that their skin gets to sag more, dark circles, and they start getting more reactions on their skin. Even the full body starts to react in certain ways.
And you start forgetting things like Mazino.
Yeah, you're forgetful.
No. I'm just pregnant, that's all.
Yeah, you forget a lot. So that's what happens, you know, when you're not having your brain cells.
Back in school, while guys were reading, I was actually sleeping.
Really?
And I still came out tops.
Wow.
Nobody asked you.
I know, everybody and their father. Everybody.
Certificate, let's see.
Oh, no. I can defend this. I actually graduated tops of my class.
Yet you still ride your bike across Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, you were in Botany. How many of you were in Botany?
No, that was... Not so much.
I told you.
You were second.
Come back,
Mr.
Botany. Come back.
And finally,
the conversation we've been waiting for.
I've been waiting for.
We've been waiting for.
Okay.
He'll probably tell you how I was gushing that day. He was probably surprised when I saw him some time ago. But Mr. Kunle Adeyanju, the London to Lagos biker, also called the Lionheart, is well known for riding a bike from London all the way to Lagos. Yes, it is possible to do that in a campaign to end polio.
Yes, indeed. Now he joins us on set to talk about that 41-day journey all the way from London to Lagos. You are welcome, Mr. Kunle.
Thank you.
Fantastic to have you here. I've been excited all week since I learned that you were going to be coming on.
Yes, sir.
And of course, in honor of that, I'm still wearing my knee pads just for you. Rode just specifically because you were coming.
But do that again. Do that again.
That one?
Oh my goodness! I don't know how you guys do it.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you
An
so
epic journey all the way from London to Nigeria here. Most people kept asking me, how is it possible? What would he do when he meets water? And I'm like, wait for the story when he gets here.
Yeah.
And here you are. How exactly did you do this? How did you accomplish this?
Well, you know, to do this sort of thing, right, all it takes is planning. It took me a year to build the plan. And, you know, building the plan, you know, it involves a lot of things, you know, because traversing all these parts where actually a larger chunk of them are regarded as red zone.
Yeah, very true.
And, you know, going through there, first, you don't want to do this thing and not come back. I want to do this so that I can come back. And so for me to come back, I need to build in a lot of what I call the fail-safe systems there. And what do I call fail-safe system is, if it fails, if everything goes wrong, can I still come out alive? Yes. You know, so for me, I define those as my fail-safe systems. And what do I do? What I did was first to look at all the countries I was going to traverse through, all the towns, all the cities, all the villages, and I have all the information of the police locations.
Nice.
You know, I call this my point of interest. So I build all those POIs on my maps, right, and actually get the contact and make sure the contacts were working. So an example, you can look at, say, Nigeria, or let's look at Lagos. I'm going to be going from Lagos maybe to Ibadan. And so you look at all the police formations along the way and make sure that you have a working contact to them. Then I look at hospitals.
Wow.
Then also I had to take insurance for an helicopter medevac just in case I need it.
Wow.
You know, yeah, you know, it's a bit pricey.
Yeah, I was going to say that must cost a lot.
Yes, you know, like, but there's a catch there. If I don't call it, I don't pay the huge premium. But I have it just in case something goes so wrong that I need it. Then, you know, at that time, money becomes, you know, like insignificant, irrelevant, yes.
Yeah.
So.
It was like you said 41 days. It was like an Israelite journey.
Yes, it was indeed.
I'm thinking about what spurred it on. End polio now is what is on your shirt right now, and that was the reason why you went on the journey. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, for me, polio, it's a personal thing, a personal fight. And why is this so? Was, well, growing up as a boy, you know, I had a friend who had polio. Okay. And, you know, when we're doing all those things that boys normally do, I mean, kids normally do, you know, you go running, playing football, swimming, you know, jumping up and down. My friend just stays by the sideline. He couldn't do it. Not because he doesn't want to do it, but he was limited by polio. So, you know, like, sadly, he passed on 2 years ago. All right, I'm not going to say polio, you know, resulted in his death, but being close to him, I know polio played some part because he couldn't live that optimal life the way he wanted to live. You know, so, and I just said to myself, if I have the means to do something, then I'm sure just going to do that thing to make sure another child somewhere doesn't go through that. And that's exactly why I took on this ride.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about the journey now itself. First off, you've got the world's lens on you, and your drive is noted. Everybody is seeing what you're doing for that drive for ending polio across the world. So that's noted. Now, to engage such a journey from London up until Africa, first off, the London part must have been easy. I'm assuming. Once you cross the waters into Africa, however, riding across the Sahara, what was on your mind with all the stories you've heard? Did you panic at any time? What were the challenges?
Okay, let me start with let me just look at it. I did a total of about 12,000 kilos, right? So like 3,100 kilo was actually up to the boundary of Europe. That's from London down to Algeciras. You know, that's the port where you have the Mediterranean Sea. So then crossing the Strait of Gibraltar, that's into Tangier in Morocco. Then I did the rest, 9,000 plus kilos down onto Lagos. Now, the 3,100 kilos in Europe, let me say, was pretty easy. But it has its own challenges too, you know, because I had to cope with sub-zero temperatures.
Wow.
You know, and you know, you're a rider yourself. You know what it is like with the gush of the wind and all that. So the cold and almost having like frostbite, even with thermal gloves. and even heated grips. You still want to feel that pressure in your hand. And there's on the Spanish coastline, another challenge is there is, like most places you see, you either have headwinds or you have crosswinds.
Crosswinds, yeah.
But what I noticed on the Spanish coastline is you have both head and cross.
Wow.
Together at the same time.
Where is this?
Wow, this is
okay. Yeah, this was in the Sahara in Morocco.
Morocco.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, that was when I was hearing voices, and I almost jumped back on my bike.
Oh, you heard voices.
I was hearing voices on the Sahara.
That's your head playing games with you, is it?
No, true. I was hearing voices.
Wow.
Wow.
I think there was even this time some years back. It was your channel when you interviewed some of these Libyan returnees at the airport.
Yeah.
And when a lady said that on the Sahara she was hearing spirits and was seeing spirits, I was just saying, this lady is just
Until
joking.
you experienced it.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I saw this beautiful stretch on the Sahara, and I just said to myself, whoa, let me make a video here. Then I took off my helmet, and I started hearing voices, and I kept turning around. And the Sahara is plain, flat. You can see as far as your eyes can go. Yeah. And I kept looking. I didn't see anyone, but I could hear the voices clearly. Then I remember that show I watched that. Could I be hearing spirit?
Wow.
I almost hopped on my bike to take off, but I just said, come on, calm down.
Calm down.
There must be an explanation to this. Then I realized that, because the Sahara is plain and the wind there is traveling at great speed. So somebody speaking from like 200 kilos away.
Will travel.
The sound wave comes through the wind. So it gets muffled with the whistling sound of the wind. So you have that like slightly distorted voices. It sounds a bit mystical, but it's just science.
Listening to you talk about it, I want to experience it myself.
I can tell.
The longest trip I've done is maybe 1,000 kilometers in a day, which is within Nigeria. I would love to experience this. I, however, want to get mechanical here. First off, are you a mechanic?
I like anything hands-on. Okay. But actually, before embarking on this trip, I went for a 2 weeks attachment at the mechanic shop.
At a mechanic, okay. So based on that, now you had to fix your own bike when you were on this journey. One, two. Your choice of bike is not the average He-Man traveling bike. You chose a 500cc bike to travel with. If you ask any Lagosian who's a biker today, they'll tell you, if it's not a GS 1200, I'm not. But you went really modest on this. Was that a very peculiar or deliberate choice?
It was a deliberate choice that was informed by information, a lot of research. Doing the Sahara, I know there, everything I need is going to be limited. There's going to be scarcity of everything, fuel, water, and all that. Now, if you're a rider, falling is part of riding.
Yep, that was what I was thinking.
The bike is 190 kilos. That's the weight of the bike. The GS 1250 is 269 kilos.
Wow. Twice the weight.
If I fall down on the sand in Sahara, which happens,
who's going to help?
Who's going to help me carry that?
Okay.
But the 190, I can easily take that up. And again, if you look, I chose the CB500X because, the X is both on-road and off-road capabilities. Yeah. So because even on the Sahara, you're going to ride on the sand. So it's not just on the road. Then again, if you look at the tank capacity, it's 17 liters, right? But it gives me a range of 500 kilometers.
Wow.
So
nice choice.
If I put in, then I have this 5-liter jerrycan emergency fuel reserve there, another 5 liters. So the two, and once the whole tanks are filled up, I get 625 kilometers range. So by the time I exhaust that range, I'm going to get into a town or a village where I can actually refuel. Wow. So those are all what inform the choice of the bike.
Okay, so I can see this is the gateway to the Sahara there, on a mountain pass. You talked a bit about fueling. How are you recording yourself here?
Okay, I have an Insta360 camera, which is mounted on the bike. If you look, there's a shadow on the floor. That's the Insta360 mounted. It's a 360 camera. It records everything, but it's invisible to itself. Yeah.
Wow.
So it makes it look like there's a third person there that is actually doing.
We've got all the cameramen so excited about it, right? Everybody's looking at it like, ooh, wow, magic. Yeah, so I'm sure everybody knows about this, however.
So did you count how many times you had to refuel?
Actually, I was doing that, but after a while, I lost count. You know, because when you get on that trip, you know, sometimes if you're not careful, people start losing it.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, so it becomes difficult. You know, I have to look for creative ways just to keep that attention and keep my mind focused, you know, so that it doesn't become like a routine where you drop the ball. I mean, complacency sets in and you begin to drop the ball. So
you had an experience where your tire went out.
Yes.
That was in, what was that? Was that in?
Eleuta, that was in Sahara too.
Sahara. Wow. So how did you manage?
Okay, you know, like I told you, I did a 2 weeks mechanic attachment here in Lagos before leaving, where I had to study how to fix a bike. I also studied how to vulcanize my tire. So then, you know, I have all this patch kit and the emergency tire inflator, I have it in the bike. So when I had that flat, you know, it's something I've learned. It was a piece of cake, you know.
Were there special tires, though? Did you have to get special tires that could go across any type of terrain?
No, it's actually because I spoke to the manufacturer, which is Honda, when I was picking the bike, and I told them, this tire is going to be going from sub-zero temperature into 50 degrees. And I was surprised when I got to the Mauritanian desert because I had a thermometer. So usually I check the temperature of the tarmac. So I can decide the speed to put the bike. You know, like on the Moroccan side, you get like 42 degrees, 45 degrees. So I can still do 140, 150. But the Mauritanian side, I was getting 56 degrees on the tarmac. If I put it at 140, I'm going to burn out my tire. So they told me that tire can do, you know, both the sub-zero and also the desert condition. So I didn't bother changing the tires. I just used the same. The only thing is when I get into like off-road, the sand where the Sahara is, you know, normally I put it at 30 PSI, but I go down to 20 PSI so I can get a wider surface area and better traction on the sand.
Okay. So in all of this, first of all, I was very excited about your Moroccan journey. I've traveled across Morocco myself, and it's a very beautiful, fantastic place. Beautiful. Love the roads. No, not one bad road.
I'm extremely jealous at this point. I'm getting so jealous.
But when you got to Lagos, arriving at the semi-border and everything, looking back at everything you had been through, the difficulties, the challenges, the people you've met. Oh, and by the way, yes, he did say in one of his other interviews that the African story is very different from what you hear on Western media, isn't it?
Correct.
What did you take out as your biggest highlight from all of this?
You know, like I said, and like you actually mentioned, it was the discovery of the true African story. For me, that is the highlight.
As an African?
As an African, that was the key highlight of the whole of this trip. Because before embarking on this trip, you know, I read all the CIA fact book. I read the SIS intelligence information they have. I read everything I could get on all these countries. And what I discovered was everything they said about all these African countries were either amber or red. The only country that was green was Morocco, and it was green up to Agadir. So once you leave Agadir, it was amber. Then when you get close to the Moroccan border, it was red. Everything they said was red. But when I got into Africa, like I said, I did 9,000 plus kilos in Africa and 3,001 in Europe. Let me give you an example where I actually discovered the real hospitality, friendliness, you know, and, you know, diversity of the African culture. It was in Mali, okay? I was, you know, because there was a blockade, the ECOWAS blockade on Mali. So it took quite a while for me to get ingress into Mali from Senegal. They kept insisting that there's a blockade, you can't go in, all right? But I told them, okay, I'm not standing in as ECOWAS, but I'm standing in as on the UN. So finally they granted me access, and it was late in the night. I was going, it was dark, a truck blinded me. I ran into a portal, I lost my rear tire. And that was around 9 p.m. It was in a park, a game reserve, where there are lions, hyenas, and cheetahs. So I became like a sitting duck. So the first thing I did was to put height between me and anything. So I was trying to climb a tree. Then as I was climbing the tree, then I saw a ray of light far off. Then I jumped down. I started sprinting to the village. Then I got to the village. You know, I couldn't speak French. I couldn't speak their local dialect. I used sign language to tell them what happened. And finally, they understood. You know, they comforted me. They said, sit down. Calm down. The women there brought me water. They said, drink. Then they brought another one, wash your face. They made sure I sat down for like 5 minutes until my breathing came back to normal. Then the men there gathered themselves together with their sticks, their cutlasses, and all. They followed me to where the bike was, recovered the bike to their village. On the way, I got network connection. I called my interpreter, who took a car, hired a car, came 30 kilometers away to rescue me.
Wow.
And the following day, I came back to the bike. Not one thing
was missing.
Wow.
I can't.
You know, that is
I'm so excited listening to all of this.
The same people. I read about that they are going to try to kill you if you run into... I was with these guys for like 3 hours, 9 p.m. in the night to around 12 midnight.
Wow. So we have to stop you
yeah,
there. We don't want you to stop the stories.
Can we get 1 hour? But in any case, I wanted to say a shout out from a couple of the people that you've met here, the MCs or motorcycle clubs that you've met here in Nigeria. Big shout out from the Metallic Bulls. They said to give you a big shout out. And also from F77, that's the Fest 77. They said a big shout out to you and congratulations on your fantastic one. And for me personally, you've done a great job, especially for your endeavor, bringing eyeballs to polio and all of that, ending polio in Africa and of course the world. Thank you very much, Mr. Kunle. Thank you for also highlighting the fact that bikers are good people.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are indeed. Rubber side down always.
Thank you.
Do stay tuned. We've got the games coming through. And of course, we're going to be having Mr. Kunle inside of our kitchen to taste the fantastic breakfast we've prepared. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's been a fun show today, guys.
Yes, it has.
It's been, and welcome to my kitchen. Today, okay, not my kitchen, was Chef and Sister's kitchen, actually. Okay, and today we actually made beef dodo. She wanted beef dodo.
Beef dodo.
She warned me not to mess the name up.
Beef dodo.
Yes, beef dodo. Okay, sir. I would actually like for you to try it out and tell you exactly what you think. Tell us exactly what you think. So in there we have plantain fried, we have beef fried, we have, of course, vegetables, peppers, bell peppers in different colors, and spring onions.
So quickly, have a taste while we let us know what you think.
I was actually wondering how you were eating on that journey.
Yeah.
How was the food experience?
Of course.
How was your food experience
with the plate
journey?
Well, you know, when you're on the road like that, it's difficult. You lose your appetite. So I was mostly on fluid and fruits. Yeah, so banana basically and boiled eggs. You know, that's what I get to eat most time.
Nice.
Oh, great. Interesting. I was never.
How do you like this one, though?
I do. That's what I'm asking.
You can take it on. Take it on another journey. Take it back to London.
Nice.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone who's been part of the show for the entire week. We've had a blast with you. And we'll be back again next week from 7 a.m. Y'all. All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.